So this activist files a police report after being basically destroyed by the Rams' Bobby Wagner. So let's check this out. There he is, running with this pink smoke, and then gets basically, ooh, that was a good hit. Let's see that again. Boom. That was a very clean hit. So the activist who ran onto the field and was summarily leveled by Rams defender Bobby Wagner, which by the way, props on that hit, and Tack McKinley on Monday Night Football this week has filed a police report. That's according to TMZ, who confirmed with Santa Clara police that the report was filed. So Alex Taylor, this individual, is an activist on behalf of the organization Direct Action Everywhere. A fellow member of the organization, Allison Flutie, tried to run onto the gridiron as well, but was tackled by security before reaching the playing field. And here's the thing: it was a good thing that she didn't get on the field, because if the players did not realize that it was a girl while they were running on the field, it could have gone really, really bad, right? But also, you gotta keep in mind too, these activists need to be very careful when they do stuff like this, because what they did is technically a crime, right? They broke the law by getting onto the field, right? Now, this individual is trying to basically file a police. Well, they did file a police report on the basically excessive force and all that kind of stuff. But it's just so stupid because look, even if the NFL player did something extremely damaging to him, even if he were to be found maybe guilty of physically harming this individual to an unforgivable extent, like using really excessive force, potentially breaking all of his bones or something, making him paralyzed, even if he were to be found guilty of that, the NFL is going to protect their player, right? Especially in a situation like this. Because the reality, this is also the fault of the NFL, because they suck so bad at security that they let an activist with a pink smoke machine, run onto the field without getting stopped beforehand. How did they even get into the whole stadium with a machine that shoots smoke? It just makes no sense. So they sought to bring attention to a trial in which two animal rights activists are facing charges for stealing two pigs from a factory farm in Utah in 2017. Now, I don't know the original situation from this, but if you have two people who stole pigs from a farm, that is a crime. They're going to be found guilty of committing a crime if they did that. It's like so basically these activists are pretty much doing all this for basically no reason. So the organization called the hit on the activist a blatant assault. He was carrying a machine that sprayed pink smoke and allegedly suffered a burn on his arm. Boo hoo, kind of thing. Here's the thing, right? And the football player that actually did the tackle and whatnot put it perfectly. You don't know what that fan got or what they're doing, Wagner said after the game, citing safety concerns for stepping in and leveling the activist. Here's the reality: you don't know what this activist is doing. He could very easily put something very chemically lethal in that machine, in the smoke, and potentially done very serious harm to the players, right? Not to mention, say he were to actually harm one of these players. The amount of money that would actually cost the NFL, the amount of money that he could potentially get sued for by the NFL, by the player, etc., is insane, right? Now, a lot of fault has to go onto these activists, but also has to go onto the NFL itself because they just suck at security. So, as of Wednesday afternoon, Wagner has not been charged with a crime in the incident, which, by the way, he shouldn't. Literally nothing should happen to Wagner or even the Tack McKinley individual, right? These two NFL players, nothing should happen to them, right? They took out a potential threat on the field. So, reporters from the sports business outlet Sportico discussed whether athletes who take out fans who run onto the field could eventually face civil liability from the incidents. I contend one day a jock is going to seriously hurt one of these knuckleheads and find him or herself facing a civil suit. Am I nuts? Sportico's editor-in-chief Scott Sosnick asked the outlet's legal analyst Michael McCann. I think it's possible an athlete tackling a fan who runs onto the field is going to really hurt that fan. McCann answered, the game ticket will say the fan assumes risk, but all risk and that risk, and unless players acting in self-defense, are they authorized to act as a security guard? Well, here's the thing, right? It could potentially be deemed as self-defense because they don't know what this individual is doing on the field. They are basically coming onto the field with some sort of chemical. They could potentially view that as, oh, you are endangering my life and also my team member's life. I'm going to protect myself and my team members. So, I just think it's incredibly stupid that these activists do this. It's just stupid. Because they're not even doing it for, a decent cause. Or a cause that really even makes sense. Let's see any comments. Okay. Wait. Players under an unprovoked attack by activists who could have weapons and are spraying an unknown substance in the air. What if it's poisonous? Which is basically what I said. What if it has a compound that violates NFL substance rules? Defend themselves by helping apprehend the bad actors, but now have to face an assault complaint? Hopefully the activist's choice to file a report triggers another criminal violation that adds to their jail time. I'm with the players here 100% and hope the legal system makes an example of these two, which it needs to, right? And here's the thing. It doesn't even matter maybe the political views on the NFL players themselves, right? Because I don't know anything about them. But they saw a threat and they took out a threat. It's as simple as that. Not to mention, if they were to have to go to court, and if NFL basically ends up allowing them to basically get charged by police, these NFL players probably have very strong grounds to sue the NFL itself for massive amounts of money for allowing someone to literally get onto the field and endanger themselves, endanger all these players, right? Let's see, NFL is a hard-hitting sport. If you want to get on the field. Dope got exactly what he deserved. I love it. Those tacklers are primed to take down opposing players and apparently anyone else on the field. I am against eating factory farmed pigs and all meat, all those animal stress hormones. Interesting. If one does not run onto the field, one will not get tackled. He should be fined heavily and spend a few nights in jail. What a country. Amazingly, these two bleeding heart pink cats found each other. I'm sure that picture is posted all over their socials. What an embarrassment. Great security at these stadiums. You can bring in a device that emits clouds of pink smoke just fine. But if your bag is half an inch too wide, you have to bring it back to your car. You can't bring your own popcorn and forced to buy $12 cup of flat beer. But let's see. Oh, a pink smoke machine? Okay, pass. Next. I'll pitch in for the players' legal fees. That was the best play and most excitement in the NFL in years. Of course, in today's America, the criminal trespasser is a victim. His ticket gives him the right to enjoy the game from the stands, not be a participant. Players thought the smoke was a poisonous gas attack and, as such, took out the threat while risking their lives. They are heroes. Run onto a football field during a game, expect to play football. Jump into the lion's enclosure at the zoo, expect to be lunch. Bobby Wagner should be the MVP of the league. I hope they hurt his feelings too. Dude's lucky he wasn't slammed to the ground. GP to jail and be quiet. Gee, shocking. Bobby Wagner is a true American hero. Hit him again. Harder, harder. I think they should prosecute athletes for non game related assault. There's no hockey play that requires hitting the other team in the face with a stick. In this instance, if I was a player, I would make the claim that I was in fear for my life. They had no idea what that smoke was. The guy ran onto the field in a legal act on his own. Exactly. He's shooting stuff into the air, obscuring people's view of whatever else he might be carrying. Police report. I think they should give Wagner a medal in a public ceremony so the next moron knows what he's up against. And here's the thing, if basically the NFL sticks by Bobby Wagner and basically says, like, look, we're giving free reign to all players to protect themselves and their teammates if they see someone do this, a lot of these activists are not going to do it because they're going to get severely hurt. But yeah, interesting. I thought this was an interesting article to check out. Good job on Bobby Wagner, and feel free to give your thoughts. One thing's for sure, all of these NFL players, especially if they're playing in the games, basically, can definitely afford to protect themselves against these stupid, like, police reports, lawsuits, whatever. And also, the NFL better protect Bobby Wagner and the other individual because if not, the NFL itself is probably going to get sued for a heavy amount.